the Groundhog in the Claw game, and mayonnaise helping physicists figure out nuclear fusion. What a weird week.
Hi, everybody, it's Weird.
This is like crazy being here.
Really weird tales.
Well, I got a great show for you today with some wonderful weird stuff.
Hi, friends. I'm Scott, and this is What a Weird Week. It's a show where we give you 10 weird things that happened this past week. Also, they're not personal things that happened to me in my life. They're actual things from the news. For show notes, transcript, to subscribe to our podcast, all that stuff, you can go shownotes.page, shownotes.page. Here we go. What a Weird Week, Season 5, episode, can't remember, Friday, August 16, 2024.
10.
Our lead story this week is David Record Breaker Rush. He's the fellow who wants to have the most Guinness World Records, most concurrent world records. He went to London to the offices of the Guinness Book of World Records to attempt 15 world records, including juggling apples and taking many, many bites out of the apple in 1 minute, the ping pong ball into the head full of shaving cream, a number of wonderful accomplishments. And I think he's there, you guys.
So we are going to try to break the most world records that I possibly can in one day.
How many are you going to break today?
We're going to get to double digits today.
Double digits. That would be unbelievable this week. Should we go and do it?
Let's do it. Come on! Come on!
We have to get official confirmation from the Guinness Book of World Records, but I think David Record Breaker Rush has succeeded in getting the most concurrent world records. A fellow from Italy named Silvio was at 180 concurrent world records, and unofficially, I think David Rush has beaten that. So now we just wait for the official stuff. Maybe somebody files an appeal. I don't know how all that works. If Silvio is like, not so fast, Rush. Wait, that's kind of funny. Not so fast, Rush. Rush? Fast?
9.
One more thing about David Record Breaker Rush. I think he's got the record. I don't think he flies to London to the Guinness World Records place and on purpose tries to get 15 world records in a day. I don't think 15 is some random number. He was like, well, I'll try to do, 15. I think he knows exactly what's going on. I'm not sure if they're planning some big announcement or what. They want to make sure everything's official. They got to go back through all of the records.
9.
Okay, number 9. A live groundhog was found inside one of those claw machines in Pennsylvania. This was at a mini golf course. They are fun places to be, mini golf courses, and there's often magic in the air, and you feel like anything is possible. And this just goes to prove my theory on that. The live groundhog inside the claw machine at the Meadows Family Fun Mini Golf, Duncansville, Pennsylvania. They got the game warden in. Game warden's named Salvador. He saved the groundhog. It was released back into the wild. How did the groundhog get in there? Was it a prank of some sort? Was it a curious groundhog climbing in the machine to see what all the fuss was about? Perhaps earlier on in the supply chain, a groundhog climbed into the back of the truck with all those plush animals, and whoever loaded the machine didn't even realize. We may never know the answer, but if you want to see photos, you can click the show notes or go to shownotes.page. By the way, so the mini golf course is also an ice cream parlor, and they had a contest to name that groundhog. They were like, this groundhog should be our mascot. And the winning name is Colonel Custard. Couple of questions here. Was it a publicity stunt? I don't know. I mean, the groundhog wasn't harmed, so I guess I don't care. The other thing is, what if you did the claw machine and your prize was a live groundhog? Pretty great day for someone that would have been. Mom, look what I won. Next is the story about mayonnaise and physics. This is What a Weird Week. It's a show with 10 weird things from the news.
8.
Mayonnaise made headlines this week. Mayonnaise and physics and nuclear fusion. all coming together in a delicious sandwich. Studying mayonnaise can help physicists learn and understand nuclear fusion better. So you guys, I'm no scientist. Here is my take, my paraphrase of how mayonnaise is saving the world. The consistency of mayonnaise, it behaves similar to something they're trying to figure out within nuclear fusion, the process, the way mayonnaise flows. So they're able to look at mayonnaise and figure stuff out. And then, of course, after the experiments, apply that mayonnaise to bread as the base of a wonderful lunch. If you want to do a deep dive on the whole thing, the science of it, click the show notes or go shownotes.page. But I'll warn you, you probably will get hungry and want to make a sandwich. And you could get to the fridge and you're like, who finished the mayonnaise and put the empty jar back in here? That ain't right.
7.
Number 7 is the robot dentist. The headline is Robot Performs First Fully Automated Procedure on a Human Being. The robot dentist looks like a robot arm with dental equipment at the end of it. This is not something that's approved. This happened in the United States of America, but it was like a proof of concept or a test or whatever. The article says before this becomes widespread, it would have to be approved by the Food and Drug Administration in the United States. The folks behind the technology say it'll shorten dental trips to like 15 minutes. Instead of a 2-hour filling, 15 minutes, and you're out of there. The robot dentist would be faster. That's one of the things they claim. Would you go to a robot dentist? I have a lot of anxiety going to the dentist, and my dentist is great. Perfectly fine dentist. I just get anxious. Would I be less anxious going to a robot? I'm unsure. Another question, where does this factor in? My theory is the robot uprising is imminent. Where do robot dentists fit in? That one, I don't know, you guys, because think about it. Would you go to your overlords for a dental cleaning? Doesn't seem like something your overlords would do. Up next is another weird flying fish story. This is What a Weird Week, the show where we count down 10 weird things from last week's news.
6.
Number 6, a windshield that got smashed by a falling fish. We've had a story or two like this on our program before. The weird flying fish story. The couple in New Jersey, United States of America, reported that their windshield was smashed. They were driving, I won't say the brand name, but one of your more famous electric vehicles. They think the fish was dropped by an eagle. You can imagine that scenario. An eagle captures a fish, starts to fly away. The fish is wriggling, puts up a fight, and then wriggles free and probably thinks, I'm free. I'm free. Hooray. And then, the other events unfold and you got a broken windshield. Probably just a random thing. There is a chance, I suppose, that the eagle had some sort of beef with the New Jersey couple, and this was a targeted crime. Or perhaps didn't like the make of the electric vehicle. The article seems to conclude it was a random thing.
5.
Number 5 is about horse milk ice cream. This is for human consumption, not for like a lovely treat for horses or something. I guess perhaps you could conclude that from the headline. This was some food scientists testing if they could make horse milk ice cream a viable option for human consumption. And it turns out they can, you guys. That is the summation of the article by my unscientific brain. There are some benefits to having the option of horse milk. Scientists, being smart, were like, I know what we can do to get people interested. Delicious ice cream. The article does get into a bit more of how perhaps horse milk could be beneficial for us and is not as studied as some other foods. And perhaps where you're at, where you're listening to this, horse milk is already a thing or part of your culture. So this one is filed under good news. Next up is the story about the dogs, the movie, and the world record attempt. This is What a Weird Week. 10 weird things from this week's news.
4,
Number 4 is about the world record in Vermont, the world record attempt. Spoiler. Last year, we covered this world record where in Los Angeles, they did a screening of the Paw Patrol movie. Kind of funny. You know, it's if you're unfamiliar, it's cartoon dogs. And so the Paw Patrol movie plays. It's an outdoor screening in LA, and 219 dogs show up to watch Paw Patrol. That's the world record. In Vermont, they tried to break that. They needed 220 dogs to come out to watch a movie, and they got 210. 210 dogs. It was a great effort. You got to figure organizers towards the end, they're counting, and they're like 209, 210. You got to figure they were thinking, where can we get 10 more dogs? We can do this. Come on. You don't want to give up on the dream like that. But anyway, 210 dogs, a valiant effort. And organizers, you're going to start playing it over in your mind thinking, what could I have done different? What if we would have gotten more kibble or whatever? You can't play that game. It was a good try.
3,
Oreos and Coke is not the name of my autobiography, but is what has been making headlines this week in the marketing world as Coca-Cola and Oreo cookies come together for a promotion that seems to be made in heaven. This portion has not been sponsored. Essentially, they're coming out in September with a limited time offer, a cookie inspired by Coca-Cola and a beverage inspired by Oreo. It's like they went Freaky Friday, almost. You got the cookie in the bottle of pop, and you got the pop in the cookie. So first, the Oreo Coca-Cola sandwich cookie. That is the Oreo cookie that has one black wafer and one red wafer. It will be embossed with some sort of Coca-Cola inspired design. And the creamy filling will include popping candy. They say each bite is designed to transport you to the experience of drinking the beverage. So you get to eat a cookie inspired by Coca-Cola. And then for the beverage, with each sip of the Coca-Cola Oreo Zero Sugar Limited Edition, fans can savor a refreshing Coca-Cola taste with flavorful hints inspired by Oreo. So this is the one where you're drinking the pop and experiencing eating a cookie. I love it when a marketing department goes for it, you know, and this collab seems to have people talking. And it's a little weird, I gotta be honest, when you're eating a cookie and you're like, soda? Am I having a soda right now? That's a little weird. Oh, I should say, I got this information from a Canadian press release. So this one is grocery stores and convenience stores in Canada beginning in September. If it's not available where you are, send me a note. And by note, I mean 5-pound note. And I'll go to the grocery store and buy you some. Maybe that's bootlegging or something. So hold off and let me check with the legal department first. Up next, what's it like to have a world record amount of games? It seems fun. Spoiler, it seems fun. This is What a Weird Week, the Weird News Show. Search What a Weird Week wherever you get podcasts.
2,
A fellow named Ibrahim made headlines this past week, got into the Guinness Book of World Records with the most gaming consoles hooked up to one television, and it's 444 gaming consoles. His favorite is Sega Genesis. He has the original 1972 Magnavox Odyssey hooked up to his TV. Nintendo Switch, Xbox 360, PlayStation, you name it. 444 gaming systems. How would you even choose? You'd have some favorite games, I'm sure, but also you'd be looking at that Magnavox, that 1972 Magnavox system, and you're like, okay, let's play some Pong. Ibrahim has to use a spreadsheet and an elaborate cable system to keep everything organized and get it hooked up to that one TV. Congratulations, Ibrahim, on your world record.
I have so many video game consoles. After a while, I noticed that I have a big stock of gaming consoles that I couldn't play. The TV ports are limited, and if I want to play, either I unplug the existing consoles or I will keep everything. The idea came to my mind. I will connect all the gaming consoles I have to the TV. Then I'll contact Guinness World Records.
My gosh, when you see all the controllers, I kind of forgot you need a place for all those controllers to go. He is very organized. You can check the video in the show notes or click shownotes.page. It is quite impressive. Honorable mention. The honorable mention this week is an AI story, but it's good news. We're always talking about how either the robot uprising is imminent or AI is going to take over everything, become aware of itself, and exterminate. But this is a good news story about AI. So you could click the article. We have that link in the show notes. I'm going to try to summarize, though, because it goes deep into large language models and Chat GPT. If you don't have a chance to click, the takeaway here is AI is not learning spontaneously on its own. It is learning from the information that human beings are giving it. It hasn't become sentient. It seems as though the researchers are just understanding AI better, and it's less doom and gloom. AI is going to take over, and more, we think we understand this now, and knowledge is power. The article doesn't say knowledge is power. It's not that corny. I said knowledge is power. I'm that corny. There's always a chance that the entire article was manufactured by AI so that we'd let our guard down. If you'd like to do a deep dive, click the link in the show notes or shownotes.page. Okay, up next, our number one story. It's out of Maine, United States of America. It involves an inspiring record. Every week, we've got 10 weird news stories from the news. Weird news. News. This is What a Weird Week.
1.
Alrighty, our top story this week, inspiring the high school basketball coach from Maine. His name is Ryan Martin. First, hello to our friends and neighbors in Maine, United States of America, and hello to the crew. Ryan is a basketball coach at Lake Region High School in Naples, and he sank 1,134 three-pointers in an hour. So over 1,000 three-pointers, 1 hour. World record. When you do the math on that, that's almost 19 three-pointers per minute. Here's what Ryan says in the article. It's really just taking it one shot at a time and having confidence in yourself. Inspiring words. Nice going, Ryan.
It was honestly just a really fun event, and I'm very thankful for everyone who came.
But you don't just walk into a gym and break a world record.
I kind of looked into it as training for a marathon, 2.5 weeks before a marathon.
All right, that's guys training for a marathon and then is like, oh, and I'll also do this basketball world record. I mean, come on. We'll stop there. Thanks for listening, you guys. If you want to get show notes or a transcript or anything we talked about in more detail, it's all at shownotes.page, shownotes.page. Hello to our friends at Funhouse Radio. We are part of the weekend programming at Funhouse Radio. Seek them out online or ask your smart speaker to play Funhouse Radio. Catch you next week for more weird news on What a Weird Week.